Hello and good morning to all you serious cricket players out there. My name is Josh Noland and I'm the last year student of Sports Science, whose head of faculty is run by Dr. Wayne Spratford, a sports scientist for the Australian Cricket Board and a cricket researcher at the University of Canberra, Australia. Today we have Nikhil Jain here to talk to us a bit about learning and playing your cricket the right way and the one chance of playing for the country, as they quote. Today is a big day for the game of cricket, and all you cricketers out there, we are here to talk to you about a series of new books. Coaching manuals on the game of cricket, written with the aim of making everyone and anyone an elite cricketer and a representative level one within days. The Mind and Method of an Elite Cricketer and its 7 sequels claim to be the first coaching manuals ever written on cricket to be a collaboration between both ex-national level players, sports scientists, coaches and cricket researchers. And the first in history which claim to use sports science, computer science and physics to convert a good cricketer into a great one, overnight guaranteed. Nikhil was a state level cricketer in Australia for 4 years as an off spinner, leg spinner and opening batsman. He has also coached grade cricketers and districts club teams in Australia where he lives. The 7 sequels to the main book or father book, one of which is co-authored by the highest wicket taker of India's Ranji Trophy, Rajinder Goyal, are all aimed at both advanced batting and advanced spin bowling, and seek to imbibe within the reader the very finer points and crucial lessons an aspiring batsman or spin bowler may need to reach an elite or representative status and push forward for state or national selection. All 7 books purport to guarantee an improvement in your cricket of 30% to 60%, quite lofty claims. However, being written by an Australian state level cricketers, Indian state level cricketers and players, coached from a country who dominated the world for decades, as well as one of the world's finest spinners, a very interesting one indeed. Here we have with us the inspiration for the books and the main writer, Mr. Nikhil Jain. Now, Nikhil, tell us a bit about the series of books. We see dozens of coaching manuals and literature on cricket, but what makes these special and what makes them different from the others and worth reading?
Thanks, Josh. Firstly, condolences to the Goyal family and for the passing of Rajinder Goyal. As he intimated before his passing, he wants his knowledge to be passed down to the next generation through the inception of a specialized coaching manual on the science and strategy behind spin bowling, which is one of the 7 sequels to the first book. The others being on stroke selection for aspiring batters, elite batters, playing the length ball and picking the length early, as well as batting to the spinners as well. To epitomize the quality of mentoring and coaching we are here to offer, there is also one on how you can become the next master batsman of world cricket, Sachin Tendulkar. In this book, the first book and the main book or the father book, we do something which has never been done by the coaching community before, nor spoken about in a coaching manual before. And that is explaining the physics and mathematics of actually seeing the ball and seeing the ball early. By being educated on the applicable science, we can increase our chances of playing big and with greater authority and ultimately make a score every time. We talk about a pure and perfect approach to shot selection, a scientifically correct one, and that by deploying our advice, batsmen can bat with the supreme confidence the greats do and hit the ball better and with more conviction. We reveal a lot of secrets of the game in regard mental and physical aspects of the sport and how best to practice. Be mentally prepared and increase your chances of playing chances of playing first class cricket. We have dedicated 5 separate books which deal with picking length and developing attacking stroke play, a separate book which talks about a sound and superior defensive technique for serious batters and playing the length ball, and one about how to play the spinners for you batsmen out there.
What are your words for people who think reading is a waste of time, can't teach me anything, and that I'm better off paying a coach to teach me?
As Jim Rohn said, reading is essential for those who seek to rise above the ordinary. And as Roald Dahl said, reading gives people a terrific advantage. In this particular context, teaching the science, mathematics, and computer science involved in batting, reading is absolutely necessary, as it is something very technical, very pedantic, and very detail-based, and can't be properly grasped and understood without detailed descriptions, diagrams, and logical substantiations. Cricket is a very technical and mental game, and is a game where a lot can go wrong, and a game which cannot be mastered without the correct guidance, mentoring, and coaching during the formative stage. Cricket is 70% mental and in the mind, and only 30% physical. We all know that. Without these books, I don't think you can do it. Go on to play a fine, professional, and mentally tough brand of cricket, and go on to play for the state or country. Without reading the books and knowing what you're doing and why, from a scientific, mathematical, and human biomechanics angle, I don't think you can raise your game sufficient to play for the country or state. You will always lack that spark and self-belief until such time that you read the contents of these books. You would be putting yourself at a huge disadvantage and not allow yourself to understand the very cruxes and science that the game is based around. To be a serious cricketer and one who can go on to play at the high levels requires not only reading but rereading, studying and absorbing each and every lesson presented within the books. Cricket is too technical and too detail-based a game, and the way we see it, there's no point in carrying on in your pursuits of being a serious or rep level cricketer without giving yourself a head start or an advantage via the reading of our sports science and computer science based books. For example, playing on a pitch which is bouncier, or against a bowler who is taller, and adapting your vision and technique appropriately and knowing when to drive or defend are just some things which must be learnt through reading and studying. And we firmly believe reading the parent book as well as the 7 sequels provides the vehicle by which to grasp every piece of science beyond the game and raise your batting standards fast. Whether it's a child playing in the street or an adult playing for his country, the science and concepts behind batting remain the same, and we can't be expected to raise our game without first being educated about the science and theory behind what we're trying to do and why. We are not here to waste your time and make you read what need not be read, as the saying goes. And like we said, the book comes with a guarantee that your reading time will not go to waste, and that you will learn precious lessons which will last a lifetime and have every chance of being a great and not just a good. There are many technical lessons within the books which must be understood for any serious batter, and we believe we have the method to teach you batting like no one else can. And if you just trust us for the duration of these books, that you'll improve your game tenfold, guaranteed.
It's quite a long book, around 250 pages to be exact. What else do you talk about?
See, that's the beauty of the book. It can be read within just 4 hours or overnight and is not that long like other manuals out there, which are quite long and tedious to read. We realise excessive reading doesn't make a great cricketer, but practicing with an educated and informed approach, which does. And we try to teach you what you need to know in the most user-friendly and concise way. It deals mainly with batting, but spin bowling and captaincy also, and goes into a lot of detail for the spinners out there too. We've tried to keep it as concise as possible, unlike a lot of manuals such as Bob Woolmer's Art and Science to Cricket. Despite being only a short book, it does go through a lot of things like batting technique, seeing the ball, starting your innings, how to practice, picking the length, choosing your stroke, batting under pressure, captaincy tips, the science behind spin bowling, and choosing your bat. So there's a lot there to learn, and that we want aspiring elite cricketers to be aware of and understand via the manual.
Tell us about the naming of the book, the mind and method of an elite cricketer.
Like we said, cricket is 70% won in the mind and mental. By journeying you through the inner workings of the mind and the mental process deployed by the elite cricketer, and giving you a peephole into the exact thought process and physical movement players like Bradman and Tendulkar used to become greats, we offer the common man the chance of being almost 70% of a Bradman or a Tendulkar overnight. Cricket is a very scientific and mental, almost intellectual game, and by reading this book, you, the reader, are given the exact and exhaustive mentoring on the theory behind cricket, and a huge advantage over someone who has not read the book. Without understanding the exact science and theory applicable to the sport while reading our manuals, particularly batting, we're just never going to be the authoritative and dominating cricketer we're dreaming of becoming. The mind and batting with scientific method is everything in cricket, hence the name of the book being such. As we say in the book, 16 to 17 years of age is when a boy has the best capacity to learn and grow as a player and push forward for elite standards in the game.
And what exactly is the desired impact and inspiration for making the book?
There's a few reasons for us making the book actually. Number one, teach Minnow Nations finer points of the game and give them a hope of playing good hard cricket and competing with the big guys. 2, to change cricket and batting from the grassroots levels and up and train them to be more mentally tough and shrewd batsmen. 3, give the poorest strata of the world a chance and an equal chance of being properly coached in regard key finer points of the game and mental toughness, and just how mental toughness can impact your performance. 4, to help talented cricketers from all walks of life to realise their potential and not waste it but for a lack in mental toughness, being misinformed or being mentally weak. So these are some of the main reasons, but the main and most important reason is to teach the youngsters of the world a new brand of cricket. one which is more mentally tough, alert and shrewd, and try and raise the standard of cricket worldwide. Through the written word, we really try and teach you things which you absolutely must know, and things which may not be easily conveyed or taught face to face in an average coach to student scenario. There's a lot that can go wrong in cricket, and there's a lot to learn, and we really try to thoroughly educate you on the game without cutting corners, and do that within a short time frame also. So in a sense, we're really hoping for a better standard of cricket, especially from the minnow nations, and a shrewd and more confident approach to batting from the specialist or elite batter. And as we say in the book, one which oozes of self-belief and confidence. We want everyone to have a good grounding on the science and mathematics behind the game, and that too during the formative stage. And we want everyone to have an equal chance of playing for the country.
And what is the targeted audience for this book? Who are you trying to target?
Well, essentially through this book, we're trying to change the face of the game from the grassroots levels and up worldwide to one which is more tough, shrewd and professional. So our main audience is obviously the youth and the youngsters who are still in the formative stages of their cricketing journey, say 8 to 18 years of age, but also the rep or first class cricketers out there, from juniors to men's divisions all the way up to domestic and international level cricketers who may not have the most scientific coach leading from the front. Trust in this manual to teach you everything you need to compete against the best. Last but not least, the up and coming minnow nations who are just new to international cricket and may not have been properly coached in the mental aspects and finer points of the game, and made aware of how important mental toughness is in the game of cricket. The book tries to reach out to such people.
We talk a lot about mental toughness and being a mentally tough, alert and informed cricketer during the book. What exactly are the implications of this to us as a club, district or first class cricketers?
The implications are dire. The way we see it is the mental toughness. Mental toughness can contribute as much as 50% of a batsman's performance on match days, especially in limited overs cricket, and towards the overall performance of the team on match day. So we argue the majority of the difference between teams in first class cricket, and especially the difference between some of the minnow nations, is not so much physical skill or enthusiasm, but mental toughness and the sound understanding of the scientific realities that the game centres around. We compare the West Indies of yesteryear in their twilight and the ability to perform which they brought to the game, and compare it to what it is now. There's a big difference in ability when the Windies have always been a strong cricketing nation. Why is this so? All we can say really is coaching and a lack of education on the game and its crooks or theory and finer points during the formative stage is the only explanation. Quality coaching is a priceless resource in cricket, and not everyone may have access to such standards or mentoring and guidance during the formative stage. So we really urge the youngsters to not waste the one chance you have of playing national level, and get their advice through the written word and not from someone out for just business and profits. These books are designed to give you superior coaching and precise coaching at a fraction of the cost, and are especially dedicated to the poorer people of the subcontinent.
How do you think a team like, say, Afghanistan or Ireland or any other My Now cricketing nation can benefit from a manual like this? And how important do you rate it for such people to actually read and understand the teachings within this book?
Well, the target audience of the book is not only the youth and the aspiring youngsters out there, but also those who have already reached the highest standard of cricket, whether it be junior, state level cricketers, or even first class cricketers, all the way up to international level cricketers. We really try to ingrain and imbibe within the reader not only the fundamentals of the sport, but the very finer points as well, and really urge every serious cricketer from juniors up to seniors and female cricketers also to grab this opportunity to be a more educated and informed cricketer, not to mention a mentally tough one, and one who can perform under pressure and against any opposition. We're confident that with the reading of the books that every cricketer out there, be it child or a first class senior or one representing the country, will be a more astute, skilled and shrewd athlete, and that you can expect to see an improvement and growth in your game to the order of 30 to 60%, no matter whether you are a beginner or even a national level player. Like we said, coaching, captaincy and mental toughness can contribute as much as 50% to our performance on match day, and that the majority of the difference between the great teams and the average ones or the minor nations is largely mental or temperament based, and coaching, guidance and mentoring is of the utmost importance if we are to succeed as serious athletes in a game which is very much centered around science and mental toughness. We're certain that with the revolutionary ideas, lessons and models presented and discussed in the books, that our particular brand of sports science and approach to the game, if followed, will raise the standard of cricket for the upcoming and minnow nations, and the standard of cricket worldwide for that matter, and give every child, junior or senior, a ray of hope of becoming a great batsman or spinner and an equal chance at playing for the country. I am sure a hard-nosed and spirited cricketer will be a reality for especially the minnow nations, but the major test playing nations also, and we will see change from the grassroots levels and up within every nation to playing the cricket in a manner which is more calculated, mentally tough and professional. For the minnow nations who don't have the quality and depth in their coaching regiments like the dominant nations, this book is an absolute must in learning cricket the right way and the thorough way, and may well turn out to be the most important source of coaching you got in your life. There is a lot to learn in this game cricket, and we through the written word are here to teach you the basics and finer points, which sometimes and often are not conveyed to the student by the coach in charge, and sometimes can only be properly understood by the written word and diagrams. That is what we're here to do, to give every student and player of the game a head start and a proper grounding in the nuances of the sport within a short space of time, and hopefully increase your chances of not only representing your country, but increasing your chances of being a great and not just a good. Playing high level competitive cricket is very much mental and biomechanics based, and we are sure through the reading of the parent and sequel books that we offer the right lessons and teachings for you to fulfill your potential and do physical justice to the talent which you already have, and give you the correct platform to launch your batting and spinning abilities and learn even further finer points down the track.
Okay, thanks there, Nickel. So, Nickel, what are your final words on the book and its efficiency in the real world of competitive cricket and hopes of improving a cricketer's game through the understanding of sports science and theory behind the game?
Well, first of all, this book is dedicated to encourage aspiring cricketers from whatever walk of life or region of the world to do justice to their talent and help them achieve good match performances no matter what the competition is. We want to raise the standard of cricket the world over by encouraging the minnow nations to learn a more prudent and tough brand of cricket and give them the confidence to compete with the big guys. Thirdly, the book seeks to reach out to any talented team or individual at any level of cricket who has ever let themselves down or failed to do themselves justice or win a game when they could have, and help them to build a calculated approach to the game and really compete with the best in whatsoever conditions or pressures. We come to the deduction that batting basically comes down to seeing the ball and seeing the ball well and early, nothing more, and that the rest can be taught. And that cricket is essentially just a game of length for both batter and bowler. And that a little idea borrowed from physics known as vectors and vector forces is essentially the crux of the game and what we need to be understanding if we're serious about better batsmanship. We reckon that by understanding this little thing called vectors, as well as conditional logic from computer science, that we can instantly change our game and approach to batting overnight. This little secret about cricket, which we discuss at length in the book, applies to all styles and levels of cricketers, boys and girls, all the way up to first-class cricketers also, and can't be ignored. And as we opine in the book, is the fundamental scientific reality upon which the game of cricket is based and centres around. Knowing the science and theory is absolutely critical in your quest for better and better batsmanship, and we can't stress enough that you read and reread the technical chapters about a correct visionary process, batting technique and stroke selection given in the books. Batting, yes, is considered natural instinct and about natural impulses, but we, for the first time, are going to show you just how important and impactful understanding the science can be and how critical it can prove to be for those aiming to be the next Tendulkar or Lara. We show you just how knowing the science and mathematics behind seeing and striking the ball can and will prove to be the prime factor in ultimately improving your game. You've got to reread and study it until you get your head around the core science to start getting the hang of it and just how critical it is going to be in our quest for elite batsmanship. We urge all serious batsmen, especially first-class cricketers who face up to quality bowling on a daily basis, to really learn and understand these chapters well and know what you need to in regard facing quality bowling under pressure. It can't be stressed enough that we learn the science behind the sport as early as we can. In the case of cricket, the scientific crooks being vector forces and conditional logic, and that you really take these chapters seriously and invest enough time to get a grasp of what we're talking about and develop the self-belief and confidence in your game to rise the ranks fast. In this book, we don't just demand and instruct you what the right thing to do in cricket is, but we also tell you why we are making you do it and why you are being told to do what we say. Any tip or advice or teaching we offer you is fully backed up and justified through discussion and scientific reasoning. We don't make false claims, but really try and substantiate and prove why we want you to play your cricket this way and the logical reason behind it. We're not here to make turnover or sales, but to really educate and inform the serious cricketer on the science and what she needs to know to be a great cricketer, and ultimately try to raise the standard of club cricket and first-class cricket being played throughout any nation. We understand that to do this successfully, we need to make access to the manual easy and affordable to club, district, and junior level cricketers, and that's exactly what we've done. We've set the MRP of the book as just $350 rupees and $150 to $250 rupees for the 7 sequels, a quarter of the price that we would ordinarily try sell the book at. Hopefully, cricket from the grassroots levels and up will be played in a different spirit, one which is better informed, mentally tough, astute, and eager to win, and our goal will be achieved. The last thing is that through the making of the book, we really want you to progress as a cricketer and not just a reader. So we've kept it as concise as possible so you really can gain most teachings in the least possible time. Unlike many coaching manuals that are too lengthy and stressful for the layman to actually read, through our manual we try and make every word count, cut to the chase, and give you full value for your reading time, which is about 4 hours. Perhaps the first coaching manual ever to put the game to the slaughter, dissect every nook and cranny known to the game, and present every basic and finer point you will ever need to know as a student of the game. We consider the books to be the perfect coaching resource for the aspiring youngster as well as the experienced senior or first-class cricketer and even national level player. So just again to all you serious batters out there, try to read all of the books devoted to teaching batting, as each book presents and conveys various separate and unique topics, and learning batting the thorough and foolproof way can only be achieved by reading each and all of the manuals on batting. It is not too hard. Take it as an investment in your cricket, which is guaranteed to pay off, and pay off for certain, and one which will last you for the rest of your active cricket playing days. If you can get your head around the main chapters of the manual, we can almost guarantee you 30 to 60% improvement in your batting or spin bowling overnight. So don't despair if the reading is too much. It's going to pay off, guaranteed. Consider this 4 hours, the time taken to read the book, as a game changer or a life changer, and an investment in your game for the rest of your playing days. We really tried to make the reading as easy and user-friendly as possible, so all sections of society, including ages 12 and up and youngsters, can quickly grasp the science and method behind the sport.
Thanks there, Nikhil. Now, what are your final words to the Minnow nations who are struggling to produce match-winning cricketers and compete with the big guys?
Well, cricket is a pretty popular sport along with soccer and is played in many parts of the world, including the eastern parts of Africa and various other countries like USA, Singapore and Argentina also. Countries like Afghanistan, Ireland and Bangladesh, along with many other nations, already have associate membership status. Perhaps the main thing lacking is the coaching regimen and expert guidance on the game and its fundamentals and finer points, and that too at an early age. It is the funding and the education on the game which could really be better, and if inculcated at grassroots levels and up, could even spur these teams to one day compete with the Englands and South Africas. Most of these nations are already sports-loving people and have always been fairly athletic and keen sportsmen. I see no reason why, if they understand the sports science behind the game early enough and read the books early enough, they can't gain test playing status in the next 3 years. It would be a nice thing if we could have more international standard level teams from Africa and other regions. I think with the reading of the contents of this book, this may become a reality. So to all those cricketers from the Minnow nations, do not think it is too hard. Improving your cricket and learning the key dictating factors for success, that is. If you read the books, competing with the big guys is our guarantee, and you will gain knowledge and teachings which last for a lifetime. These books may well be the best coach you will ever get, and may even be the only coach you ever need. The book is that detailed. Like we say in the book, batters with more precise footwork invariably have an advantage in scoring off and dominating the bowling. And given that many of the Minnow nations have a love-love relationship with soccer, a game which is fundamentally about footwork, I believe they too can produce big batting stars of the likes of Kohli and Chris Gayle. So it is not too hard. I'm sure with the right guidance and mentoring, sport can take off for the Minnow nations from various parts of the globe, and that reading our books is the perfect vehicle by which to give you a higher understanding of the game and a higher chance of playing good competitive cricket at a higher level. You just have to have the self-belief and coaching. You can do it, are my final words. You can do it, USA, Namibia, Netherlands, the UAE, Ireland, Afghanistan, and other upcoming nations. You can compete with the big guys, and with a grounding in soccer, you have a distinct advantage in batting especially, where footwork is key. As we state in the book, foot-eye coordination is more of a precursor to good batting than is hand-eye coordination in the game of cricket.
And finally, Nikhil. Now, I believe the book is only one of a series of books and coaching manuals on cricket. Tell us about that.
Yes, there are 8 other books, sequels to the first book, one about advanced spin bowling and the others about advanced batting and science behind stroke selection in one-day cricket, playing the length ball, picking the length early and perfecting batting technique, playing the spinners well, what it takes to play for the country, and also one about mastering 2020 cricket and playing in the IPL. The first is co-written by myself and Rajinder Goyal, the highest ever wicket-taking bowler in India's domestic competition, and the others are written by myself and various other ex-cricketers. The first discusses the mental component of spin bowling and variation balls and how and when to use them, biomechanics and how to bowl and deploy variation balls is the main theme. However, the book goes into every detail an aspiring spinner may ever need to be a great spinner, and is considered the ultimate coaching resource in the world and ever created for the serious spinner. The second book elaborates on how conditional logic and computer science can be used to aid batters to select their shot as if like a machine or robot, and improvise more and strike the ball better in limited overs formats of the game, and raises the idea of the 4 layers of visual acuity in one-day batting. The third book raises the issue of playing the good length ball and talks about this in elaborate depth, and such depth that you can reasonably expect yourself to confidently play the length ball like the great Don Bradman himself within hours. There is also 2 more specialised manuals on how to bat like Tendulkar and Viv Richards, and what it will take on your behalf to become the next master batsman of the world. All are quite advanced books and absolutely must be read and reread if you are serious about your batting or spin bowling and taking it to the next level. A coaching manual does not get any deeper than this, and we have every base covered. You won't get a better grasp and understanding of your trade and the what, why and how of cricket anywhere else. The other sequel books are listed as Playing the Length Ball like Bradman, Picking the Length like Viv Richards, Get Programmed to be the greatest one-day batsman in the world, The Science, Strategy and Secrets of the Heroes of Spin Bowling, Sculpting You to be the Next Tendulkar, Playing spin bowling the subcontinent way, What it takes to play for the country, Getting picked and succeeding in the IPL. You can trust us that these books will give you the revelations, knowledge and impetus to launch a career in professional cricket, and you won't need to watch another video or read another book or even pay a coach for the rest of your playing days. That's how detailed they are. The title Batting to the Spinners is still in the pipeline but will be released soon.
So, are you saying that the books are as good or even better than receiving one-to-one coaching through a qualified coach?
Yes and no. The main idea is to give youngsters a head start and teach them the science behind the game and the vital finer points before they even walk onto a cricket field or before they receive coaching from an academy or the likes. We are not completely replacing or overtaking the coach's role in grooming cricketers, but rather making the coach's role easier, as the students who present before him are averse and familiar with the many physical intricacies of cricket and the key mental acumen relevant to the sport. At the end of the day, this makes the coach's job easier, as they can get down to the real nitty-gritty of adjusting batting technique for different shots and have a more informed and educated student or cricketer before they notices and can produce more and more state level players. The books offer an unparalleled source of coaching, guidance, and mentoring on the game, and can even bring a novice or an intermediate to elite standards in no time, and is seen as one of the greatest resources on the market for aspiring cricketers. That is, in a sense, yes, the manual can be seen to be better than a one-to-one coach and can teach things a coach might not even teach you. That's how conclusive the manuals are. As we discussed within the book, knowing how to see and watch the ball and pick up length early are the cornerstones and precursors for developing good batting technique. And we really do give you a good grasp of the topic in depth and detail, and prepare you to be further coached in person in regards technique and human movement used in cricket. Further, how to choose, select and decide your stroke is considered an act very much based around the topic of conditional logic from computer science. And we have a separate book which negotiates and deals with this in minute and finest of detail. We consider the series of manuals in totality and as a whole as being the ultimate coaching or learning resource for the aspiring cricketer, and consider them the coaching manuals of the century. One which is both elaborate yet to the point, teaches physical and mental finer points both, and teachers must know mental acumen about a game which is already 90% mental.
Alright folks, there you have it. The Mind and Method of an Elite Cricketer, and its 7 sequels out now. Dubbed to be the coaching manuals of the century and the most readable coaching manuals out there for you, your son or student. And the first of its kind to discuss and reveal in depth the revered secrets and sports science behind the game. The main book is available in paperback for just 350 rupees for all customers, and is guaranteed to improve your game by 30 to 60% overnight. That's how confident the authors are. The sequels are affordably priced too, at just 170 to 250 rupees each, and are available at a discounted price if purchased direct through the publisher. However, are still available elsewhere at retail prices, and shipping and handling is also provided at a discounted price. Thank you for your attention, and we hope your investment of time and money on these books are worthwhile and beneficial in the end. As the authors quote, we look forward to seeing more and more world-class cricketers on the international cricketing circuit as a result of reading the book. The authors have also indicated that each book will be adapted into short films and videos which will convey each and every lesson presented within the books via the audio-visual format in the form of choreographed YouTube video. Nicole also has a YouTube video channel which outlines and briefs in more detail as to what each book is about. The films may take some time, but as the saying goes, a little reading never hurt nobody. You still have access to all the crucial lessons, both basic and finer, and can purchase most of these books for under 300 rupees direct from the publisher's online shop, Blue Rose Publishers. We do, however, recommend the serious cricketer to read and absorb the teaching of the coach, Nicole, via the written word, and don't delay or wait for the videos to be released. That's all we have here from Nicole from Canberra, Australia, folks. All the best to the serious cricketers out there, and we hope you benefit from the books. Thank you.